Hello, everybody. Hello, Sam Outlet George. Welcome to another edition of the Watch Party with X-Men Evolution. I'm here joined with Joker, and we're about to watch X-Men Evolution episodes 7 through 9. So, if you guys want to join us, the watch link is in the chat. It's right here. And if you enjoy X-Men Evolution, come on by. Stay tuned after for the discussion. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let us begin. Oh, did you have something to say, Joker?
Nope. Other than that, yeah, we've been enjoying the episodes. Very fun, very enjoyable. Pretty much the teen drama version of the X Men, but a very good teen drama. This is all before the Cure Act, all before Apocalypse, all before everything you love about the series goes down. So this is kind of like a great introduction to that. So if you want to know where kind of things start off with them as teenager years, this is that adaptation. So I love it. It's also good. It's also way better than Life is Strange. Anyway, let's get this started.
Okay, let's see. And full screen. Okay, off we go.
I would do that. Like, I mean, ooh, ooh, come on, man. Oh, oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's my rogue. System. Come on, Game Boy Advance. Come on, let them do it. I love that little look. I love that little look. Woo! Mm. Woo! God, I love Magneto in the show. Oh, is that Mystique? I think we saw a little Mystique. I love it. They teenagers. Oh,
He is actually correct.
I love it when they do a little history lesson for these stuff. It's the Don Blues philosophy where if you're animating or directing, writing, you might as well read it up. Got to read. Chuck Jones, I mean, Chuck Jones. Yeah! Finally! 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 It only done 7 episodes. Finally, the plot. I can only imagine if someone new to this series had no idea who Mystique was. Just thought, oh, these are two like and I love how Christopher Judge set this up. It's like, oh, here we go. He's like, just tell them the truth. Finally, yes. Just the way how she delivers these lines, I was like, ooh, I bet she was having fun on this day. Like, ooh, sharp blade, cooking the strength. Oh, ooh, ooh. Son of a bitch! Get this part. Oh, come on! Stop buffering. The power of mystique, everybody. Okay, that is some Obi-Wan dumb luck. What the fridge? I'm just saying, that is comedy gold. Oh, Sabretooth. Finally. The Star Wars. The Star Wars. Not the.
I watched this series way back when. I This went way over my head back then, and now seeing it again, I'm like, oh, that's clever. That's clever.
The Star Wars program, the Strategic Defense Initiative, nicknamed Star Wars Program, was a 1983 initiative proposed by President Ronald Reagan to develop a sophisticated it's a sophisticated space-based anti-ballistic system. Hence, Star Wars. It was a goal to make nuclear weapons absolute by creating and shield destroying the Soviet missiles, shifting from uh, to active defense. Okay, like so again, history lesson. This is the Chuck Jones of philosophy, but we'll get more of that into discussion later. So let's continue. Let's continue. He got a D. He didn't fail him, but he gave him a D. He gave him a D. Dance. This is the dance episode. He's got the camcorder. Let's go. Uh-oh. Save it to Bayville. Uh-oh. Run, man, run. Although, to be fair, that should be impossible with that camera. I gotta see this. Don't. Oh, my man, Spike, my man. You ready? Here it is. What? There it is, the reference. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. The reference. Yep. They grab the hands in the episode. There it is. She gets a hair. Was it Antarctic? Arctic? So Probably got to be for that segment.
This reminds me of the way the Magneto sell in the movie. This reminds me of that.
Theirs was more in the first Fox movie, no, the second Fox movie. Within the cell, there was more plastic because again, Magneto was magnet. But it does remind me a bit of that, along with where Charles originally hid the where he used the whole mind control stuff. So I think this is a callback for both of those scenes where this is probably where Magneto's at, and also the more detailed straight line, like yeah, that's like the old X-Men mansion back in the day. So it also just remind me a little bit of Star Wars. This is like a Star Wars reference too
Oh yeah,
for,
you can
for New
say you
Hope.
can buy all
Obviously, New
three
Hope.
of them.
But I like how in that one shot, there's a lot of nice detail here. Buttons on the commands, how nicely dark and dim it looks. The angle gives you that nice scope and scales to it. Like, oh, this is a good scene. Kane, basically, remind me again. Who the hell is King again? Remind me again. Who the hell is King?
We're gonna let the episode
Okay. It's been years.
I know, but I'm gonna let this one explain it.
Okay. I'm like, who the hell is the King?
Believe me, after this you'll be like, yes, yes, yes. Can we take a minute to appreciate the fact that Jean almost looks like Laura Croft for a minute?
A little bit. Or can
That's
we
a
take it?
good that's a good Easter egg right there.
Or I can almost appreciate this guy's supposed to be Army Lee's character from Full Metal Jacket.
There's so much references in here. I'm
No,
loving this.
I'm just waiting for the bullshit. I can't hear you, and him to go for the full line. I don't care if you're a cox in the underwear and all that crap. I thought he was gonna walk up to Scott and says, "How tall are you, son?" Certified bullshit. I didn't know they stacked shit up that hot. I think you've been cheating hot. Okay, wait. Uh, I would have chose Wolverine. Oh, so Kitty, you're really wearing that? Nope. Oh, the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut. That's who he is.
In the correct outfit.
So wait, but I thought okay. So Charles doesn't really have any siblings. They're just mutants by brother in arms. So, okay. So I'm like, wait a second, he doesn't have any siblings, does he? And then then it's like, oh, the Juggernaut. I'm like, okay, got it. God, we only know them by their A-list for such a long time. You're like, wait, who are they? Oh, the Juggernaut. As though she took out the helmet, I was like, oh god, that's who it is. Hey, Snapchat. Good. Yes, 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 Mr. Logan. Please, please train me.
Well, it's innovative, I'll give him that.
I'm sorry. He's just horrifying. The disapproval look of G. Come on, use the Phoenix.
Oh man. Three powerful episodes, Joker.
Oh,
Agree.
oh yeah, yes indeed. I can't stop laughing the last minute. And yes, I got to see the dance reference of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh yes, oh Buffy, I love Buffy. So every time I see it, it's an episode. All right, so episode 7. Finally, the story picks up a bit more. Rogue is now with the X-Men, but the lesson they learned that everybody can at least be given a second chance, like with Rogue, which is what I like about, but also at the same time, this is why I love the adults here. They finally gave the kids a chance to be like, well, why didn't you tell us? Now, a bad writers will always say, well, why didn't you tell me? Well, I wanted to always to protect you, son slash daughter, or whoever the main protagonist. And they always follow with the, my God, you're such a bitch. I'm like, no, no, I hate when they do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, current example, few years back, several years back now, the Tila show. I mean, Kevin Smith's sequel series to He-Man, where Tila's like, "My God, why didn't you tell me my brother Adam was he?" She knew Adam was He-Man in the original series. There literally was a spinoff for She-Ra, where she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna borrow this." He's like, "Oh yeah, sure, go right ahead." But the Kevin Smith adaptation was like, "My God, why didn't you tell me you was that Adam was He-Man?" Like, excuse me, can we not do that? Or like something, a recent example game that I played last year. it was Colossal side. They do the no, you cannot come with me, and the girl's like, I'm not a little kid anymore, and I'm like, come on, writers, do better. Here, it's done much so better because one, as Kitty Cat said, that we're playing with fire here because they found out their principal was Mystique and Rogue, and when everybody else found about it, it's like, why did you tell us that the enemy was like always this close to us? We thought we were just dealing with, Avalanche, the Blodge, Toad, and Rogue. But in reality, the main threat's always been at their school, watching over them, moving over them. So this was a better lesson for them to learn, but also for Charles to do this. Trust. Part of this is learning to trust somebody. And like we said, with the adults here of Stormworm, Logan, Mystique, Magneto, and Charles, the issue with them is that they all kind of like know each other. And the problem is that it also affects the younger generation. So for them, it's learning to trust the younger generation can at least much more better to learn from their mistakes that they didn't learn. So this is why this episode works better, and why the simulation works so well is because a that you never know when somebody might betray you. Sadly, you'll never see that in the season, regardless. But you will see in the classic X-Men comic book lineups called the Phoenix Saga. And there have been a few characters over the years that have betrayed the X-Men and go to the Brotherhood of Mutants. So always be aware of that. And I do like the fact that the lesson was learned much better here, unlike some other shows.
Exactly. And I love the little news segment music playing when Toad's like mysterious circumstances of random disappearing teenagers. That was beautifully done. Why can't we have that humor anymore?
Because we live in a climate where that humor gives you the fuck is wrong with you look. But here it made more sense because these guys hate each other in that episode. In the last episode we watched, episode 9, part of that was learning them to be a team again, all of them, but also not using their powers. But the big thing about this is, despite the difference of the Brotherhood of Mutants and the X-Men, they actually share a lot of similarities. Avalanche's team with the Brotherhood of Mutants, when it's just the kids, and yes, our boy Cyclops, he is not a weakling. Stop saying he's useless. Cyclops is a great X-Men character. I don't know. Yes, he gets a lot of backlash, or people misunderstand Summers. But Scott's a really good leader when it counts. And you do need that system of everybody staying in place, but also learning to help each other. If Scott fails, he has Jean to back him up, or whoever he has with him. Even with Avalanche, the funny little bit with them. Despite Toad being a natural climber on the rocks, he's like, what's taking your boy so long? Hurry up. Now, don't let go. If he drops, it's Blob City. And I'm like,
Yeah, that was really great writing. I'm like, oh,
it's a funny visual gag because I'm like, wait, how is the Blob gonna get up? I'm like, oh, he is climbing, and the two boys, Quicksilver and Avalanche, they're just using him as an anger. Now, don't drop him. I couldn't stop laughing. I was falling back in my chair going, I love this show. This is humor done right, but also it fits the characters so well.
and
But
we got Juggernaut versus Blob.
I was
Now,
like, who the hell is Kane? And then it's like, oh, it's the Jug. Like, yes. The immortal
I
Juggernaut.
had to refrain from telling you. It
I'm like,
was
who is this
difficult.
guy? I'm like, brother to Charles. But I did a quick Google search, and 1960 version, he was the stepfather because that's like kind of like his stepson. Because Charles is like the stepfather to a young kid when he married his mother when the other one passed away. So, so this was nice to see Juggernaut after some iterations over the years. So I'm like, yes, whew.
Yeah, it was nice to see their take on him. I loved it back to the original costume, which we would see later on in the Deadpool movies. I'm glad they stuck with it.
Not
Uh,
the X-Men Last Stand. That was an ugly. Like they got the
uh,
helmet, but everything else didn't feel like Juggernaut.
and
Also,
he had an Australian accent, and I'm like,
which
no,
was weird. Also, I'm the Juggernaut, you bit.
I'm
Also,
the
he can
Juggernaut,
only.
bitch.
Also, he can only run forward. Get this right, please. This one was more accurate because it's like he just sees the cop cars, like flips them over, doesn't even care. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Or farm when he just walking through the train. I'm like, yeah, going through the mansion. I was like, this is the Juggernaut I waited a long time to see on anything. So it was cool to see that. But again, even like Mystique said that, like, well, this is rare, or like a coincidence that we have both Brotherhood of Mutants and X Men fighting the Juggernaut, and you can actually see them use their abilities together. If Jean fails to lift him up, the Blob is there to unstoppable meet the unmovables. Like that. That was a cool reference right there. Or Toad trying to get in to get things. Like everybody was using their powers for stuff to get things off, like to get the switch, whether it be Avalanche, Quicksilver, Storm, Scott, Nightcrawler, Kitty Cat, and Rogue, and follow up with Toad. Everybody used their abilities together. It's like they're not so different, and that's the thing with Charles and Magneto. They are not they're not that different, folks. They are this. They are literally the same side of the same coin, but it's their teaching, their methods, how they get there, which is why we love them so much, and why, yes, when Stan and Jack kind of wrote Magneto back in the day, it's something that I always continue to say when you look at Magneto, he just became the monster he was always fighting against, which is actually a sad tragedy when you look at it. All he wants nowadays is for his mutant kind to live in peace, to be accepted, and to live in peace. But the only way he's going to get that is sadly through the methods he learned in his youth, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guilt, what happened to his original family, it's what happened to the second family, and he just does not want to be treated that way. Even even everybody says that had him and Charles met sooner, or things gone differently, things would be very, very different. But that's why I freaking love Magneto. And episode 7 was the first time, finally, full armor, full everything, in broad storm daylight. Oh my god, I love you, Christopher Judd. Hell,
He
even Charles called him out saying, "What are you doing here?"
That was a powerful scene, and it goes to show, like, you hear his voice, yet you don't see him until the very end. That is how you command presence in a scene. That is scene presence right there. Magneto is there, but where? Where, I ask you?
When he broke the glass, coming through the window, him saying that you need to tell your students this, and he's like, "Oh, your students are doing well." It's like, "Yes, academically." Oh, that I'm talking about their mutant powers, because in every episode we see them get them a little bit better with their powers. I mean, can take episode 3, 4 with the Blob with Jean. I'm like, come on, break it, break it. To now she's off screen is training so much better she can lift up the Juggernaut. Not fully, but she can lift him up. It's like, dude, he's like a ton, even with the armor on. I was like, damn, girl, damn. But he also wants him to use it in his way. So this is why I love their conflict and dynamic in that episode, and where we can see the students get along together. But also at the same time, everybody's got to be a little careful with things. Again, episode 8, the very fact that Spike accidentally recorded that where the mansion was, who Logan was. To be fair, there's no way in the world that camera could zoom in that far. I'm sorry. I have to break the immersion somehow. I gotta be that guy. There's no way that camera could zoom in all the way. I was just laughing, going like, what is this camera? You cannot see Logan from that distance. And yet somehow Spike has a perfect HD quality of this thing on the camera recorder.
It's funny. It's so funny how Sabretooth knows how to work tech, and I'm like, that's scary. He just became
Because
3
those are
times
probably not that
scarier.
old. I know those two lived forever, so probably at one point in time, Sabretooth probably was going through a camera recorder, but I'm just like, he knows exactly where to go. And it's also funny that Logan didn't erase anything else. He just gets to this point of like, hey, thanks for showing me where he is, kid. I'm like, and then he shows up. I was like, but it also goes to show you that Spike is willing to learn from his mistake. He is a good state of the mansion. Be like, okay, just let Sabretooth and Logan fight it out. But we had the setup. Setup one was the Star Wars project being a D assignment, which again I have to. I can't believe he actually wrote about Star Wars. Oh, so he actually wrote
And
Star Wars.
the teacher knew exactly what the movie was. So I think that's why in his mind it's like, you know what? Here's a D for an effort at least. I found it very humorous. I'm not gonna flunk you.
But I
Here you
also
go.
found out when Spike was like, okay, look, give me some extra credit, what it is. So here's the actual Star Wars program, and like you said, it's supposed to be about missiles and everything, trying to stop like the Soviets' missiles like for coming and launching. So can we intercept this stuff? So I was like, so that's what it actually is for. So there is your history lesson of the day, and that is actually a Chuck Jones reference to as well. Who's Chuck Jones? Well, he's the guy who created Looney Tunes, our wonderful director and animator for Looney Tunes. And why do I say that's a Chuck Jones thing? Chuck was all about reading. If you watch classic Looney Tunes when he's directing something, Chuck will tell his animators, and even for himself, read. Because reading was knowledge, reading was important. That's why when he did stuff like the opera or any of his other stuff he's done over the years, he'll tell people to, if you want to like animate stuff, that you should read it. Reading was knowledge, so it helped people learn that. So this is what they do by certain movements, singing, you name it. Even like the background, someone had
And
to read something to get the backgrounds correctly.
and that famous line, I knew I should have taken that left turn to Albuquerque. That that counts. That
That
does
counts.
count. And you see and Bugs Bunny pulling out the map and everything solidifies that. because it's part of that. And that's what I love, and that's what I feel like is sorely missing these days, Joker. This is what's missing these days. It was fun. It was not up in your face. It was there and subtle. Like with the Animaniacs, with the 50 states and their capitals, the geography song with with Yakko, and the dictionary song to which literally Yakko almost passed out during the recording.
And
He
then it's
almost
that, and it's like, had it been anybody else, I would say good luck. and then, and then when he stumbles at one point, it's like, but then he recovers himself, and then he
next time
slowly
I
goes.
see him, I'm gonna ask him like how many takes did it make to really get it all down in one go. Um, also
And what
the and also Pinky in the Brain with meticulous analysis of history, um,
history,
which is good.
because Pinky was supposed to be, the brain was supposed to always be smart. So I'm sure Chuck probably had somebody, but not even just Chuck, but probably Spielberg and somebody be like, "Okay, we really should read about like how smart brain should be." And then the one thing he doesn't know, it's something that Pinky knows. So it's like, so you can always be the smartest guy in the room, but you might not know everything. So I love that for the trivia one where he almost gets every question right, and then it's the one thing he doesn't know, and he's like, "Pinky, help me out." Nope. A fun fact: their best episode that both actors said they really love. It's the episode. It's the Christmas one where he says like, "Dear Santa, I just want the brain to know that he's loved. Give him the world," and he had the world right in that little message, and he's like, "Merry Christmas, everyone." They said that's their favorite episode. But again, going back to this is all like why like knowledge is important when you're doing stuff like this with history and everything. You should read upon it. And because these are the X-Men, of course they're still going to use their stuff from the comic books, real world inspiration that they were all inspired by. Even something like Spike, like filming stuff like this on that camera recorder, that was not uncommon. That was
No,
not
because
uncommon. And that's why I love the teacher so much before he becomes who he becomes later on, because I recognize who he was instantly. I'm like, ooh, it's this guy. It's this guy. So we get to see him when he was nice to everybody before he goes, no, no, all the time. And the activist he becomes. So I love the fact, again, what despite everything, it's like, all right, here, I want you to just to record anything. Just record anything. And you would see that like people recording stuff now from the camera, now it's down to the actual phones, at which they use their phones more better these days. But I love that they just went for it.
and
And
it
whole
worked
like
for the
program was
time.
just for family.
It worked for the time as well, the time that this was coming out. Because remember, the cell phone age wasn't big just yet.
We weren't quite there to the first iPhone
The iPhone was there, but it wasn't as big as it would get later on
before
as
we got
time.
to the different innovations of 2, 3, all the commercials, Samsung coming out with their stuff, going from the whole clicks to what it is nowadays. So things were coming, but
And also
tech wasn't quite powerful.
seeing the portable camera, the little portable camera that Kitty used. Oh, that took me back to an era. That took me back to an era. I'm like,
Yeah, when I saw that from Kitty, I was like, "Ooh, I'm getting old."
but that's the beauty of the whole thing. And also I love the fact we got to see different teachers this time. We got to see different ones. The drill instructor, the geology teacher, which, oh, be still my heart.
Again, that's a Chuck Jones thing. Probably somebody study a little bit of this, but like, all right, I could put that. They're going to a mine, so I might as well put some things in here that make the whole trip at least worth it and everything. And it's like, hey, that little bit goes a long way. And it's a school, unlike Power Rangers, only had like one or two teachers being the main one that we always kept seeing in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the principal, because very, very small budget show back in the day. That even that actress admits saying that, yeah, it was, I thought I should, because she said that, oh, I thought it was me and some other actresses doing, but it was only just her back in the day. Or other activities they used to be in, like Ernie's Juice Bar with the original series, or stuff like, oh god, I'm trying to remember, like the Extreme Sports store that for Ninja Storm. I know Mystic Force, they had the god awful DJ, and I never the DJ setting was nice, but the guy could have been a little bit better, and they could have explored a bit more. What else is
Yeah.
there? I know Dino Charge had their museum, which was the perfect disguise for everything. Dino Thunder had the juice bar, which was always nice to see. Because I always kept thinking that, was this role originally meant to be like for Amy Jo Johnson or Catherine Sutherland? Because it felt like that actress, like I love her, but I'm almost like, was this meant to be Kimberly or Catherine Sutherland at one point? If they couldn't get either one to come back, because it was nice to know that she knew Tommy's identity, but at the same time, I'm like, was this meant to be Sutherland? Was this meant to be Amy Jo Johnson instead? Because you could see Kimberly or Kat literally be in that scene where she's in the command cave and be like, "Hello, so I guess you found out." Like,
Yeah.
right? But
Mhm.
stuff like that adds to the world building and everything. So that was great. And Spike is like, this is about family. He's like, and I did like the fact that even when he's recording better, they're like, Scott's waving, and then it gets punished by the Nightcrawler. And he's like, Scott's a great big brother. He looks out for everybody, but he's strict. That's why he's here to let him loose. And then he gets sprayed. And then, Gene and Kat are like this. His Storm is this way. I love how he describes everybody. I wish he did more descriptions of everybody, because I wish he said, like, Gene and Kitty, so like Rogue is gonna be like this, but she can learn to have fun every once in a while. Or Kitty Cat. I'm glad he kept Gene trying to like
Yeah.
act.
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
not uncommon for people to say that. No, it's not. Really.
Oh, believe me,
When you live
you
in a
have
house
no
with girls like
idea.
that, you oh my, they're gonna do it.
Oh, that
It
it
was a
brought me
trope
back to
in
that
there,
year.
but it happened, and I love the fact she's like, "Oh, get out!" It's like,
That
you're
was
taking
very
too long to
common.
put on one dress. I love that little bit, and he's like, and this is my family, so I'm like, I like that. It was nice to see the professor show up for the play. I'm like, come on, it's the professor. He's
Take a
not going
break,
to show up for this.
Professor.
He has to
Take
show up.
take a break, Professor. Come. I like that he's like being more involved little by little, and that's a really good thing. And also Wolverine, I love him. This
Despite
is
him being
by
the dad, I'm glad he shows up as well. And
but they
again,
made Logan the adult though. That's the beautiful thing. I cannot imagine a high school version of Wolverine. Oh my
oh
god, that would
God,
be
no.
disastrous.
I would
That
hate it so much. I would say the X, but that's why we have X-23, which sadly she's not in this season. She'll be the next. I think she is the next season. That's when she's in. I think that's when we do get introduced to her, because that's when the mansion gets more students, more background students in there. So that's why we have X-23. And God, I can't wait till we get to her in the future, because I'm like, because that was the episode I watched. I'm like, do I remember this episode? Yes, I do, because it was X-23. And why Logan said, I'm the only one who can understand you. Same powers, same abilities. Hell, they literally are. They took the DNA from Wolverine and gave it to her. And that's also why I keep saying the reason why Deadpool has healing factor, and it's because of Logan. No, he does not have a healing factor. It's thanks to Logan he's alive.
Exactly. Um, Hello, Callie. But Joker, we are into the final three of season one already.
I know
Already.
already. I know already. This is the short season, but then they get longer. They get a little bit longer. They get a little bit darker. But who cares? Because 4Kids is like, well, you can go a little darker. They just didn't know how dark they were gonna go.
All good, Callie. All good. Um, Next Thursday will be episodes 10, 11, and let me figure out where we are at. Give me a second here, guys. Give me a minute here. Okay, it looks like they have episodes 12 and 13 into one, so we'll be able to do it all in one go.
Okay.
So we got
Otherwise, it's just
said,
too.
yeah. So because they usually do that sometimes because they have it like in the part one, part two. So kind of like with what Sonic 93 did. We had that first part and then we had that second part. So it was one episode just split into two parts. So we'll figure it out when we get there, guys. But I'm gonna get out of here. A big thank you to everybody for coming out by, and always remember the watch party screen is always there. If you want to hang out with us, watch the movie. If you want to join the discussions, added bonus. But take care, everybody. Big thank you to Sarah Outlaw George in California. We'll be back. We'll be back later on. Take care, guys. Bye.